Hello. Welcome to the channel of you. The channel of you. Why would I say that? The channel of you is because awakening is about you. Awakening is a reflection and a mirror to who you're currently being and who you're supposed to be, who you already are. Supposed to be, so much wrong with that sentence. The word supposed to this, supposed to do that. There's a time, I think it was one of my yoga teachers, and something she said, I was like, wow, I never want to say the word supposed to again. Never again. Because we already are what we are. And supposed to makes it sound like there's someone else's rules that we're supposed to be following. But we only have our own rules. And maybe our rules that we have with God. Because we are of God. We are the breath of God. This body is a vessel of God. We're not here to allow our ego to guide and create success in the earthly realm. We're here to be a vessel for the breath of God to move through and create. There was someone mentioned the other day, be fruitful and multiply. And obviously they were talking about increasing the population. And I haven't ever read that section of scriptures to understand the context, but my mind, I was like, well, what's the context? Be fruitful and multiply. But does it talk about discernment? Does it talk about living within our means? What's the rest of the context there? And maybe it's not necessarily always about reproduction of the human species, but what about creating fun things? Right? Like think of a tree. Yes, a tree might drop fruit that has a seed, and that seed could create another tree. But also, that tree is also creating abundance and multiplying through its leaves and its branches, and its beauty in that. And that brings in the whole idea of cycles and seasons. And that's for another thing. But if any of this is interesting to you, or maybe perking up some ears on a rabbit hole, this channel is called Awaken with Deb. And I'm Deborah Kaye. We're awakening to the awareness of who we are, of who we truly are, underneath the masks, underneath the programs. So if this resonates with you, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe really helps me out. And let's dive into this a little bit of the pressure to be who we're supposed to be and what that means. What does success mean to you? What does success mean to the people around you, the people that you love and want to support, the people that maybe you look up to and really want their approval? And why do you want their approval? Because they're doing things that there's something about them that you desire or admire. Or it's blood and you want to impress your family. That's also a thing. That's most of the things. I feel like we have this false narrative that blood really is life. And it is. You do have a connection to your family forever and ever. Like you do have the similar energies. Like it is life, but also they're also just part of our journey, just like everyone else. They'll have their time and their season. They may come and go. They may be there forever. They may be gone forever. That part's not really up to us. We just have to know that they had a part, and we understand that part. When I started this video, I felt like there was a lot of energy coming through. I was like, wow, there's a lot of messages. I have no idea where this is going to go. And I kind of feel like this has been some kind of bumbly, rambly, not very clear and concise information. So if you're still here, there's something in here for you. Something in here for you. Success. What does success mean to you? What type of success are you chasing? Do you believe that you're worthy of that success? Actually, if you're watching this video, you know You're worthy of success. That's why you're here. That's why you're putting in the work. That's why you're on YouTube searching and scrolling and looking for that inner aha moment, because you do believe that you're worthy and you do know that you are capable of tuning into who you are and allowing that to radiate out. I almost didn't say the words allow it to radiate out, because my mind wanted to go to the earthly 3D realms of stepping into who we are to help others and guide others, or be this or be that. And it was putting it in a sense of success of climbing a ladder. And I didn't want to frame it that way. I don't want to frame success as in climbing a ladder, because that's the way the earthly realm false programs have taught us, and it hasn't worked for us. But I want it to be more of a resonating with your true frequency, tunage. I wanted to say tunage, but unless you've heard me talk about tuning to the radio station of who you are, then that wouldn't have made sense. Except now it does, because I just said that one sentence. When we tune into who we are, it takes away the ego of, oh, we're helping others. Oh, we're guiding others. Because, I mean, it is helping and guiding others, but it's more of just holding space and being there for them. And so when you tune into the frequency of who you are, you're naturally going to expand and radiate out, because that's what everything does in the realm of nature. It expands and radiates out. It evolves. It grows. And we're no different. And that expansion feels really awesome, but also really scary. And it really fights with the ego, because the more you tune into love and expand from love and inner authority and inner authenticity, you have to be able to integrate the ego in such a way that it doesn't feel threatened, and that it understands when it's needed, and it understands its place and purpose, because there is a place and purpose for the ego. So with that said, you are here because you do believe that you are capable of success, but you are also here because you have probably been knocked down a time or two or 5 or 10 or 100 over and over. I personally remember being a 16-year-old parent living in the basement of the in-laws' house, and, you know, 2 young kids just trying to do what they can. And it just seemed like the other shoe was always dropping. Something good happened, we were just waiting for something else to bad to balance it out. Like, we couldn't ever just believe, you know, the thought pattern was chaos. The thought pattern was that we didn't really deserve things to go well unless things went bad. There was this deep belief that things had to go bad in order for you to deserve the wealth and the awesomeness. Yet somehow other people weren't held to that same standard. Somehow you would watch other people do the same things and not face the same problems. And, you know, there's no way to really explain that, I guess, except to, are they, I mean, we talk about mindset and wavelengths, but you're looking at them, you're like, well, I really don't think that I'm on this, I think that we are on a different wavelength, and I feel like I should be just where they are, and you're not. And that's frustrating. And then you start to doubt yourself. But you're still here. You're still watching these videos. You're still seeking answers on YouTube. You're still putting in the work. You're still learning all that you can so that you can be ready for when you're ready. And you can choose to be ready at any moment. It's a process. Every day is a new day, but every now is right now. So if you can just be ready now, then you'll be ready when you're ready. As paradoxical as that sounds, that's how it works. Making sure the microphone's still on. Success isn't about a ladder. Success is about the way that you can accept the expansion of yourself. That is success. When you achieve something and you feel pride, that pride is the lack of shame and guilt for who you are. So feeling success in who you are is taking those away and feeling the joy in your expansion, the joy of knowing who you are, even through those failures. Because in a subconscious, higher you kind of way, those failures really are it's your test, it's your school, it's your lesson. It really is meant for you. And you're overcoming it, which means there's a lesson in there that's going to help you expand. And as you're expanding, this is you, right? And you're expanding. Well, guess what? There's a person over here that's going through the same thing you're going through in some aspect. There's something in their vibration that just needs that neural connection. I mean, we talk about our brains, how sometimes there's certain things that can make the neural connections connect. And then you're like, oh, I get it, right? Same with humans. We're just brain neural connections on a larger scale. And when your aura comes in contact to another person's aura and you light up those neurons, that's how we're changing the world. And that's kind of our purpose. Right? We know many people enjoy learning and expanding. It's quite addictive. Our whole economic system is built on bigger and better and growing and expansion. So why would our brains and personalities be any different? Excuse me. I need to sneeze, but it doesn't want to come out. And our auras really do act like matches and flames that can spark other matches and flames. And as egotistical as it sounds, there's joy in that. There's joy in knowing that we can affect other people. There's joy in knowing that we matter and that we have purpose. Even if our purpose is to solely exist as one tiny neuron in the brain network of human beings, there's at least one other human being out there that is wanting to be sparked by your aura. And that's just science. That's not ego. That's just science. So give yourself a permission slip to expand. Take away the ego of being seen as bad. Doing big things is bad and scary. Like social media has given influencers a bad rap, right? Influencers influence for a reason. They create joy. They create feelings and emotions in people. And those feelings and emotions are actually part of the quantum computer that this avatar human being is. So be mindful of your human emotions. Be mindful of the social media influencers that you do take in. What are they influencing you to be? How are they influencing you to be? Are they helping you feel the truth of who you are? And look around what's happening in your life. Because when you have those moments of thing after thing after thing that's happening, either there's something totally out of alignment, or your mindset is really just hitting somewhere. I mean, there is the thing that sometimes it is just one of those lessons where it is just the devils and the demons and the energy trying to grasp at you, because there's always got to be a balance, and as you become more still, instead of constantly being in a circle, as you become more still, you are creating a vacuum for things to come in, and you got to be receptive for the joy to come in. Otherwise, like, everything's going to try to come in, and it's up to your mindset and discernment that puts up the block that allows certain signals to come in. That's up to you. And the more you do the work, the more you can really feel this other dimensional layer of existence. There is another dimensional layer of existence. And we are evolving into it. You wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't believe that also. If you weren't feeling it and experiencing it, you wouldn't be able to last 15 minutes into a video like this, or even scrub to the right spot. Scrub to the right. If you did last 15 minutes in this video, maybe this will be a short. These videos, this is Awaken with Deb. I'm Deborah Kaye. This channel is about awakening to the awareness of who you are, but it is also guided with the energy of wholeness and truth, of guiding others to the messages that they need when they need it. So just scroll through the page. You know, to watch a whole video, I don't watch whole videos of a lot of other people. I go to where I feel called, because I know it's not Deborah that's here being an avatar doing things. I'm a vessel that is allowing the breath of God to move through me and make choices and things. So if you just allow that breath and that guidance, that inner intuition to guide you to the titles that call for you, scrub through the bottom, allow your intuition to take over. That's your homework. Purposely do not watch full videos on YouTube for a day. Just scrub through things and see, allow your energy to guide you to the right spot. And maybe if you're not going to be around YouTube, maybe you have to run off to work and you're not going to be on your phone. Grab a book. If you have a certain book that you have in your backpack or car that you've been reading, flip to a certain page. Ask a certain question or problem that you've been dealing with first, and then allow guidance to flip you to a certain page. It's those little moments of trust, faith, and exercise that creates the trust of authenticity for what is happening. And by what is happening, I mean being a vessel and allowing things to move through you. Turning off this logical brain that says that I am this physical being that has to climb a ladder in the corporate world. As I mentioned, corporate world, I noticed the time on this video. Time to call the video quits so I can head off to the corporate world. If you are watching this, you are meant to be here. You are meant to find the authenticity of your soul, and you are meant to radiate out and spark others. Fullest gratitude for you being here and watching and witnessing my talk therapy. Go out there and get it. Have a blessed day. I'm Deborah Kaye.